Hey gang, Zippo. How many times have you gone to change your muffler out, your rusty old salt and pepper can or what have you, and the pipe that's in the engine is stuck? I mean, won't budge. You got the pipe wrench on it, can't get it to move with that. There's nothing you can do that's going to get that thing loose or off of there. This video is going to show you how I remove the nipples or the mufflers from the engine block without doing any damage to the engine block itself. Too much torque or pressure, say you put a pipe on your pipe wrench, on the end of your pipe wrench, and really lever it, you run the risk of breaking out your exhaust port. Too much pressure. So I'm going to go through the processes and show you what I think is the easiest way to remove them with the least amount of damage possible. So stay tuned. Okay, step one to getting your nipple out, you want to make sure that your engine is rotated over so that your exhaust valve is closed, because the last thing you want is any metal particles getting into the engine. So in order to do that, you rotate the engine around and you make sure that your exhaust valve is closed. You can tell that when there is no resistance on your crankshaft. That means the cam is not pushing against the springs and the tappets to open your valves. That ensures that when you start cutting, you are not going to run the risk of getting any metal particles inside the bore of the engine. Next, you need to choose your weapons. You can either use a hacksaw like this, and this one obviously needs change, got some busted teeth on it. But you can use a hacksaw, or my tool of choice, a sawzall. So next what we're going to do is we're going to get as close to the block as we can, and we're going to cut that nipple off. I'll continue this after I get that little sucker off of there. Stay tuned. Okay, about a minute's elapsed. That's why I love power tools. You see that I have the nipple cut free. Just pop it off of there. Got it flush. The reason you want to get it flush is so that you're cutting the least amount of material to get the remaining part of the nipple out of the engine. So after you get to that point, then what you want is either a hacksaw blade just by itself, like so. You want to get yourself a spot, doesn't matter where, and just start going back and forth, back and forth. Keep going until you get cut down to where you can just start seeing the threads of the block. I'm going to pause the camera, get it to that point, and show you what you're going to be looking for. So stay tuned. Okay, now I've gotten cut through. As you can see, what I've done is I've gone just below the edge, and cutting into the block just a tiny little bit is not going to hurt a single thing. But you want to be sure that you're completely through the ring that you want out of there. Then we'll pause it real quick. I'll bring out the other tools that you want to use to get that sucker out. Now if it doesn't work by cutting just one section, you can come over and cut another on either side to knock just the one small piece loose, which will allow you to get the other piece out. So stay tuned, we'll be right back. Now, you can use one of a couple of methods to get that out. I've used both. I'm going to go old school this time, but if you've got an air compressor and you have an air chisel, let me get this backed out. You can use an air chisel, and all you're going to do essentially is just knock into the side of the nipple, and that's going to compress that and enable you to screw it out. But we're going to go old school, like I said, and just use a cold chisel and a mallet, or a sledge rather. So I'm just going to get in there and I'll whack it a couple times, and I'll be able to tell when I hit it. I'll look around and I'll see the rust break loose here, and that'll tell me that I've compressed this nipple enough to get it out. Also, the gap's going to close here, obviously. So you want to tap around a few different places on it so that you can be sure that you're getting, so you can see that it compressed up quite a bit there. Let me zoom in on that. See how it is lifted? And you just want to keep doing that. Just go right around the whole thing. I don't know if you can see, we've got a gap there now. And it's kind of hard to get it this way. Probably go with a smaller cold chisel to do it, but let's, yep, it's looking pretty good. Now, you've got all the rust broke loose on that. You can tell by looking that I've got a gap pretty much all the way around this thing. Now, we'll pause it again, and I'll show you how to get the rest of it out. Okay, now that I've got everything loosened up, what I did was I went in and then I did make my second cut. My second cut is done off tension. So we relieved the tension here by knocking everything in, making everything loose. Let me pan out just a little bit. Loosened everything up by knocking it in with the cold chisel. Then I made another cut along the side. Doesn't matter what side, you can even go to the top. Just a little easier to take just a small section out. So now I'm going to knock this little section up and out. See how that piece just popped right out of there? And now you can come in and just knock the rest of this. You see how loose that is now? It's just flopping around. It's ready to come out. Just a couple of little taps. And there we have it. That is how you get a muffler out that is stuck. Right there. So I hope this helps a bunch of people out. I know that when I discovered this, it made my life so much easier getting these things out. And it also saves your threads so that you're not boogering up your threads and you're not boogering up your block. Don't worry about the little grooves that you're going to leave. You're still going to seal up just fine when you tighten things down. I just barely got into the teeth here. But as you can see here, I went on through, so I was sure that I was through the entire piece of pipe. Make sure I was through the entire piece of pipe. So there you have it. That is how you remove a stuck muffler. Now, what you want to do at this point is either start the motor to blow all the debris out, or if you've got a good shop vac, suck all that stuff out of there. I know not a lot of people have them, but if you have a 1-inch NPT, which is the National Pipe Tap, you can chase the threads after you have finished cleaning everything out. If not, just take a small brush, small wire brush, clean those threads up as best you can before putting a new muffler on. So there you go, that's it. This is Zippo. I sure hope this helps a bunch of people out, but primarily this video is for Elliot. Nice young gentleman came down to the Portland show and met me there, and I hope he gets to make it out to the shop so I can show him a few more tips and tricks. But he asked me this question last night and I replied to him how to do it, but I figured showing him would be just a little bit easier on him being able to get his muffler out of his, I think it's a 2110 if memory serves, but I might be off on the number. But anyway, this is Zippo. Good luck, Elliot, and I'll catch y'all later. I'm out. Quick little follow-up. When you're ready to install a muffler, so that you don't run into the same problem later on down the road, there's a trick to make sure that you will be able to get your muffler off after you have worked so diligently to get rid of the stuck pipe. Take your muffler, and this is a 1-inch electrical conduit lock. That's the cheapest way to ensure you're going to be able to get this muffler back off again. Now, Briggs does sell these as muffler clamps, but you can go to your local hardware store, go to the electrical section, and buy these 1-inch in like packs of 4, packs of 6, something like that, for a couple or $3. So This is your peace of mind. This little thing right here is your peace of mind that that muffler is going to come back off. So after I've cleaned the threads and whatnot, I'm going to run the muffler in, and I'll run it in just till it snugs. And that's just right there. That's it. No more. Just till it snugs just a little bit. Okay? Make sure you got your port about where you want it. Take that ring, run that ring against the block. Once you get it finger tight against the block, get you a cold chisel and just grind a flat on the top of it, or you can use your air chisel, your air hammer. But I've ground that flat, and its purpose is just for locking mufflers down. And these rings have little tabs on them. Just get on one of those tabs and lock that muffler, and I cannot twist it off. It moved a little bit. Let's lock it a little bit more. See if we can move it now. Okay, now we cannot move it. Oh, it did. It moved just a hair. We got to keep going. You got to keep going, because once you heat the engine up and the engine gets warm, this is all going to loosen up on you. So you've got to have that ring pretty tight. But it's a lot easier to knock that ring loose and just spin your muffler off later than it is to have to go through everything we did in the previous parts of this video. Now it's not going anywhere. That's going to stay. If you want to, once you heat the engine up, you can go ahead and knock that ring a little bit tighter if you want to. Then to remove it is just the reverse. Just come back on the back side of where you hit over here. Just hit here, loosen it up, take your muffler off. So there you have it. A not so quick tip from Zippo. Later. I'm out.